It's Wednesday, Parshas Re'ai, Chuf Beis Menachem Uftov Shin Pai Vuv. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host of the news of the last 24 hours on Edge.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.
So today's sponsors are Halo 2 High Functioning Water and also TasksJoy.com and as well Kosher Skinny Shots. And we have Shawama the Lights, YS Capital Group and Arrive Express and Protobyte as well. So thank you all for being a very loyal sponsor. 159 days since the war began with Iran, and the deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz could be announced as early as today. Well, it hasn't been announced yet. Iran's leadership, including Supreme Leader Moshe Khamenei, who has never been found anywhere, but they say so, finished approving the plan on Tuesday. The deal would run for 60 days straight with an option to extend it. Again, feels like deja vu. But let's talk about whether you are an accountant or a salesperson, a manal gashmi, running a besmedrash, any heimshe business, any business. Do you need one simple place to keep every single every single thing on track? Forget complicated CRMs like Trello and endless spreadsheets and also the messy, you buy all these programs, you pay a ton of money every single month, and you just use one part of it and it's still complicated, or a calendar, appointments, whatever it is. TasksJoy gives the whole team an easy shared task board with ready-made templates, built-in chat, and automatic translation. Yes, let's say you have a team of Spanish-speaking people and you just want to speak in your language. Yes, you could do the same, but they understand the language because guess what? They see it in Spanish or whatever language they speak in. 40 languages. So everyone knows exactly what to do next. Your staff can even claim open tasks on their own, saving you time every single day. Carry out your tasks with joy. Try TasksJoy for free with an S. TASKS. Joy.com. Mention on Edge, you get a 10-day free trial, obviously. So, yes, okay, now check it out. Ships entering the Persian Gulf would use a northern lane through the Iranian waters, and ships heading out would use a southern lane through the Omani waters. Now, two sides would also work to... both sides, Oman and Iran, would work together to clear the naval mines out of the strait's main shipping lane within 30 days. So same as the MOU, by the way. One piece is still being fought over. Officials in the region say Iran and Oman want a service fee from every single ship, with the money split between them. Well, President Trump says he will not allow it. In his words, I'm not going to let them charge a single penny. Anybody who's going to charge, we will. If anybody's going to charge, we will charge, he says. Iran says it's an agreement with Oman on the shipping route, and the agreement with Oman on the shipping route is done, and a joint statement is now being drafted with one or two issues left to close. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says a deal could come as soon as today, and President Trump says it could happen tomorrow or the next day, adding that a lot of progress has been made. Meanwhile, CBS News reports that the United States has used up nearly its entire worldwide supply of long-range precision missiles fighting this war. The biggest worry is the Patriot and THAAD interceptor rockets, which are being fired faster than the factories can even build them. Secretary of War Peter Hegseth calls it a manufactured story, saying the stockpiles are great and only getting stronger. The American military says the southern route through the Strait of Hormuz is open and that its forces helped, the U.S. forces helped over 1,000 ships pass through safely in the past 3 months alone. Halo 2 High Functioning Water is the water you want to try if you want to stay on a balanced, health, mindset. If you think about energy and waking up refreshed, you need to drink the right water with the perfect electrolytes. So this, I know, tested and tried by many people who've told me that they've tried many others, and this Halo 2 high functioning water literally says it like it does it what it says. High functioning alkalized water with a pH level of 9+, electrolytes, plenty for your body to be able to survive the current events around you, outside in the streets. So Halo 2 high functioning water available in all your grocery stores, most of them at least. If they don't have it, let them know. The Houthis say that they hit a Saudi oil tanker called the Wafa with ballistic missiles in the northern Red Sea of the coast of Yanbu. That makes 8 Saudi tankers targeted since the terror group started its blockade of Saudi shipping on July 22nd on the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, another strait parallel to that. The Houthis say that they're moving north because Saudi Arabia started routing its tankers through the northern Red Sea to get around the blockade. Down in southern Saudi Arabia, the Najran airport is closed with no reopening date after a drone hit its main radar. A Houthi spokesperson claimed this attack, that attack too is calling it payback for the Saudi drones flying into their airspace. Saudi Arabia is holding indirect talks with a group through Oman trying to stop the attacks on its oil shipping. Now, Oman is very busy, I guess. Now to Gaza. The Israeli military has gone almost a full day without launching a single strike. Israeli media report that the targeted killings are on hold for all the terrorists involved in October 7th. Troops are under orders to shoot only at immediate threats now, and any new targeted strike needs personal permission from Military Chief Ayal Zamir. The troops are still clearing what's under their feet. This morning, the military released footage of paratroopers in southern Gaza uncovering an underground route packed with dozens of rockets. The tunnel was blown up by combat engineers. The military says the work is part of clearing the yellow line area of terror infrastructure above and below the ground within the ceasefire framework. The quiet comes as the American-backed Board of Peace pushed us to start disarming Hamas. The board's top envoy for Gaza, Nikolai whatever his name is, met Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday and asked for a 14-day ceasefire to get the weapons handover moving. But Netanyahu put out a video on Tuesday, saying Israel never agreed to the disarmament document that Hamas accepted last week. The American plan asked Israeli troops to pull back to the yellow line set in the October 2025 agreement. Netanyahu says the troops are not moving from their current lines until Hamas is completely disarmed. The military says the work is part of clearing the yellow line area of terror infrastructure above and below the ground within the ceasefire framework. The clearing work is also flattening the buildings. Satellite pictures analyzed by New York Times, BBC and Reuters show that the military has demolished more than 2,500 buildings in its zone since October ceasefire, in some areas entire blocks. Now, Israel says it is destroying tunnels and booby-trapped buildings that endanger their troops. Hamas calls the demolitions a violation of the ceasefire. Now to Lebanon, where 2 Israeli soldiers were killed today. Israeli media reports that 2 soldiers were killed and 7 more were wounded when a bomb went off inside a booby-trapped building in the town of Majdal Zaun in the south. Israel called it a blatant violation of the ceasefire by Hezbollah and began a wave of precision strikes across southern Lebanon in response. Before the strikes, the army told residents of the coastal village of Mansouri to move at least 1,000 meters away. The first evacuation warnings has issued once since June already, if you remember. Lebanon's health ministry says 1 person was killed and 11 wounded in a strike of the town of Tabnin. Now, all of this hit while Israel and Lebanon are in the middle of talks in Rome, which resumed this morning after the first day on Tuesday. The two sides are working on drawing the exact borderline between the countries and deciding who will check that Hezbollah is really out of the south once the Lebanese army moves in. Italy is one of the main candidates for that job. Lebanon is demanding that Israeli troops leave the town of Bin Jumbil and I think it's called Qaim, and as part of the deal as well. Over to Ukraine. Russia had fired at least 24 ballistic missiles, 4 other advanced missiles, and 115 drones at Kiev overnight. It actually came from North Korean missiles that they got. Yes, South Korean media intelligence informed them on that. At least 17 people were killed and 44 people were wounded across the capital and the surrounding region. Ukrainian air defenses shot down 98 of the drones, but not one of the missiles. Now, Ukraine is running out of interceptor rockets for its American-made Patriot systems. Obviously, the only weapon it has that can actually stop a ballistic missile. President Vladimir Zelensky said it plainly. Ballistic interceptors are what could have saved the lives of those killed today. The Financial Times reports President Trump is unwilling to send more Patriot rockets to Ukraine because America's own supply is running low from the Iranian war. Russia says it was aiming at transport and shipping centers used for the war and says it shot down 475 Ukrainian drones over its own territory the same night. Russia calls this barrage payback for the Ukraine's own deep strikes. For over 2 weeks, Ukrainian drones have been burning down the warehouses of Wildberries, Russia's version of Amazon. About a dozen sites have been hit since mid-July, killing at least 9 workers, and the damage is estimated near to $457 million. Ukrainians say that the platforms sell the drone parts and body armor to the Russian military and calls the strikes revenge for Russia bombing Ukraine's own delivery company, Nova Pochta, whatever. The latest warehouse was hit on Sunday in the Samara region, 500 miles from the front line. Emergency crews in Kiev are still searching for the rubble for people who may be trapped there. Kosher skinny shot. You don't want anything extra trapped inside your body, keeping your weight going up and up. And you need to maintain it. You can maintain it healthily with diet. Some people have told me, yes, great, no problem. But one of the ones who are thinking of taking the shots might as well take it with Kosher Skinny Shot. Kosher Skinny Shot is your guide. They keep you check. They check all your vitals. They make sure that you're no risks involved before you go onto this journey, and you go onto the journey with them because they guide you through every step of the way. 845-456-8924. Don't forget to enter the free raffle giveaway of 1 month for free with Kosher Skinny Shot for trial for 1 month free if you you sign up with me on Edge, 845-671-1775. You press 5 with a voicemail you can enter to win. Name your number, name and telephone number very clearly, and also say the words Kosher Skinny Shot, because we have many different things coming in, so we don't want to confuse you. An armed man was arrested at President Trump's golf club near Los Angeles days before the president arrived there for a Republican fundraiser. Federal agents doing a security check at the club in Rancho Palos Verdes, whatever his name is, first noticed the 38-year-old man on Friday walking the course with an earpiece, taking pictures and videos of their security preparations. He came back Sunday and told the agents the State Department hired him for a security detail. Deputies arrested him with a gun in his pickup truck and 16-round magazines in his pocket. On Monday, investigators searched his home in Downey and found the illegally modified AR-style rifle, a .45 caliber pistol, body armor, high-capacity magazines, piles of ammunition, 2 radio devices, and notebooks filled with what police call concerning statements. He pleaded not guilty on Tuesday for 4 charges, and a judge set his bail at $250,000 and banned him from the club. President Trump went ahead with his Tuesday night dinner, of course, at the course, and asked about the arrest, and he said, well, the only thing I get a little solace from, as they say only consequential presidents get this these threats, and I'm definitely a consequential president. It was Democratic primary last night in America, and 3 results are getting attention from the world. In Michigan, a progressive whose name is Abdul Al-Sayed beat a more conservative Democrat, obviously Congresswoman Haley Stevens, for an open Senate seat by 1 point in a race called only this morning after AIPAC spent about $30 million to stop him, the most it has ever spent on a single race. He is an Muslim and Arab, obviously, from that area. President Trump reacted on Truth Social, saying Al-Sayed is a communist loser who hates Jews and Israel and is the projected winner for the Democrats. Obviously, we'll see what happens in the midterms. In Missouri, Congressman Wesley Bell beat Cori Bush again 59-37 in a rematch of 2024. And in Ann Arbor, Michigan, a Democratic socialist whose own campaign ad featured an activist who posted "Love Hamas" unseated the mayor of 12 years with no opponent in November. His name is Yusuf Rabbi. He is set to run the actual city. Justice Department sent the Mayor Mamdani a letter about unequal treatment of the Jewish New Yorkers and says it is actively investigating. The head of the division, Harmeet Dillon, met last week with former Assemblyman Dov Heikind, who has been pressing for the investigation. New police numbers show Yidden were the target in 70% of all hate crimes in the city last month alone. Physical attacks on Yidden in Britain jumped also 82% in the first half of this year, the most ever counted in 6 months. The group that guards British Jews communities recorded close to 2,000 acts of Jew-hatred since January, including the April stabbing of 2 Yidden in Golders Green and the arson attack that burned 4 Hatzalah ambulances. The numbers shot up right after the war with Iran started, and the British government is putting a record £250 million into policing Jewish neighborhoods. Rabbi Yoel Lando, the philanthropist, Agvir, and Ish Chesed is setting up $1 million fund to fight the Gzaidas Hagias in Israel. He announced the pledge during a visit with the Ger Rebbe. During the same visit, Lando also donated a large sum to build the new Takunas Simcha halls in Yerushalayim and in Arad. The Knesset, in other words, the Knesset committee, the finance committee, approved close to 250 million shekels in new money for the Haredi school system. The package raises kindergarten teacher pay based on experience and covers busing for the Chinuch Atzmai, it's called, and the Bnei Yosef networks, and funds for after-school programs, seminary teacher training, and help for at-risk youths. Committee chairman Moshe Gafni says that the money corrects funding gaps that have sat open for many, many years. Here at home, a terrible tragedy in the Midwest. A brother and sister from South Bend, Indiana, were nifta on Monday after a boating accident in Lake Michigan. What happened? An 18-year-old Yosef Yehida Zweig, and his 21-year-old sister were on a family vacation when their boat overturned and both went into deep water. Rescuers pulled them out and rushed them to McLaren Hospital in northern Michigan, but doctors could not save them, sadly. They are the children of Rabbi Yeshia Zweig of South Bend and the grandchildren of Rabbi Yochanan Zweig, the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivas Bis Moshe Chaim in Miami Beach. Hashem should help them. And see the stovers. A fire destroyed the popular kosher pizza shop J2 in Lawrence early Tuesday morning. A fire started around 3:30 in the morning at the shop on Central Avenue and spread into the empty storefront next door where the sandwich bar used to be. 155 fighters fought the flames for about an hour and a half before putting them out. Nobody's Baruch Hashem hurt. Both stores were empty at that hour. The thrift shop next door was also hit with heavy smoke and water damage. Early signs point to a possible electrical problem with the refrigerator in the basement, and the Nassau County Fire Marshal and Police Arson Unit are still investigating to see. The New York City MTA promised to pull immodest advertisement from city buses within 60 days. The agreement came as a recent board meeting after the Agudas Yisrael Chief of Staff Avram Weinstock explained the problems the pictures caused for the frum Jews. Weinstock credited Assemblyman Kalman Yeager and Shlomo Eichenstein, who kept up the pressure on the agency for a very long time to do so. The Jewish teenagers arrested in Greece have been released and allowed to fly home, but they were ordered back in November to stand trial. Well, the 17-year-olds, Liam and Yonason, were on vacation in Malya 2 weeks ago when they opened their hotel room to shelter a group of Israeli tourists running from a mob shouting Free Palestine. The mob threw objects at the door, and one of the rescued tourists grabbed an axe from the hallway for self-defense and brought it into the room. When the housekeeper found the axe in the next morning, Greek police arrested the two boys. Their lawyer says officers questioned them without a Hebrew translator, made them sign papers in Greek, and ignored their requests for a doctor. An interesting one from Ireland. Ireland's new €53 million government jet was built without a system to land in fog and in severe weather because that technology is partially made by an Israeli company. The Falcon Eye system uses special cameras to help pilots see the runway in snow, darkness, and zero visibility. Because it is built together with the Israeli defense company Elbit, Irish officials refused the contract and to follow their 2024 ban on Israeli defense arms. A former Irish military pilot warns that the jet will have to divert to other airports in bad weather, though the Defense Department claims the plane has no limits. Anyway, a quick warning for Williamsburg. A group of scammers came into the neighborhood yesterday with fake $50 bills. They are trying to exchange the fake money to get smaller bills back. Be careful and be aware. That's why if you want to borrow money for your investment, you should go to YS Capital Group. But before we do so, if you're hungry, go to Shawarma Delight, because Shawarma Delight is your place to go for a good, tasty shawarma. Exit 14. It's right next to Bingo. It's in the marketplace. When you stop by Thursday night, tomorrow's Thursday, they open till very late. There's Menina Mincha Marav there if you're going to or from the country. Stop by. Worth it. Good shawarma. Mention on Edge. Get a free drink. Maybe they have the Halo 2 high functioning water there. You never know. And of course, obviously, YS Capital Group for your loans and investments. If you want to borrow money for a building that you want to invest in, you can borrow the money from YS Capital Group. Call them on 718-831-2168. Ask them about the no closing cost loans, and of course, mention on Edge to get your locked in rates. Arrive Express. I'm actually going to book a taxi right now because I need to go somewhere. 845-622-1111 and 845-254-1111. That's the Palm Tree wing of Arrive. And Protobyte, if you want to build yourself software, you don't need to think twice. Just call 347-354-1237. They're the best in the industry, known in the market. Protobyte, experienced at what they do. They understand Heimische programs, what you need for your business. Okay, have a wonderful day.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.